Good evening, and welcome to Voices of Innocent, where we delve into the most compelling and often heart-wrenching true stories. Tonight, we examine a case that has baffled investigators and the public for nearly 2 decades: the disappearance of Brian Shaffer. A promising young medical student, Brian walked into a bar one night and was never seen again. Security cameras captured him entering, but inexplicably, there is no footage of him ever leaving. Join us as we piece together the verified facts of this perplexing mystery and explore the theories that continue to surround it. Brian Randall Shaffer was born on February 11, 1979, and grew up in Pickerington, Ohio, a suburb of Columbus. By all accounts, he was a bright and ambitious young man. In 2006, at 27 years old, he was a second-year medical student at The Ohio State University, with a promising future ahead of him. He had a close relationship with his family, particularly his younger brother, Derek, and his girlfriend, Alexis Wagoner, who was also a medical student. However, the period leading up to his disappearance was marked by a significant personal tragedy. Just 3 weeks prior, on March 6, 2006, his mother, Renee, passed away from a rare form of cancer. While deeply affected by the loss, those close to him said he was handling the grief well and was looking forward to an upcoming trip to Miami with Alexis, a trip that was a gift from his late mother. Friends and family have stated that he even planned to propose to Alexis during this vacation. The night Brian Shaffer vanished began on Friday, March 31, 2006. It was the start of spring break, and Brian had just completed a week of exams. That evening, he had dinner with his father, Randy Shaffer, who noted that his son seemed exhausted from studying. Later, Brian met up with his friend, William Clint Florence, for a night of bar hopping to celebrate the beginning of their break. They started their evening at the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a popular bar located on the second floor of the South Campus Gateway complex. They then visited several other bars before meeting up with a friend of Clint's, Meredith Reed. The trio then returned to the Ugly Tuna Saloona for a final round of drinks. At approximately 1:15 a.m. on April 1st, security cameras at the entrance of the Ugly Tuna Saloona captured Brian, Clint, and Meredith going up the escalator to the bar. Inside, the group socialized and watched a band. The last known sighting of Brian Shaffer on camera occurred at 1:55 a.m. Security footage shows him outside the bar's entrance, chatting briefly with 2 young women before saying goodbye. He then turned and walked back toward the bar's entrance, moving off camera. This is the last time Brian Shaffer was ever definitively seen. When the bar closed at 2 a.m., Clint and Meredith could not find Brian. They called his phone several times, but it went straight to voicemail. Assuming he had walked home, they left the area. The subsequent investigation into Brian's disappearance quickly focused on the perplexing video evidence. Police scrutinized the security footage from the Ugly Tuna Saloona. The building had only one public entrance and exit at that time, which was an escalator monitored by a camera. Investigators could account for every single person who entered the bar that night, leaving on the security footage, with one exception: Brian Shaffer. One of the original investigators stated he could say with 100% certainty that Brian did not leave via the escalator. This fact has become the central and most haunting mystery of the case. How could a man vanish from a second-story bar without being seen on camera leaving through the only public exit? When Brian failed to show up for his flight to Miami with Alexis on Monday, April 3rd, he was officially reported missing. His car was found parked at his apartment, and there were no signs of a struggle or anything out of the ordinary inside. The Columbus Police Department launched an extensive investigation. They searched the area around the bar, including a construction site that was accessible through a service exit. While this service exit was not for public use, it was considered a possible, though difficult, way out of the building. However, cadaver dogs did not pick up any scent of Brian in that area, and cameras at nearby businesses did not capture him either. Investigators interviewed over 100 people, including bar staff, patrons, and the two women Brian was last seen speaking with. All passed polygraph tests, with the exception of Clint Florence, who refused on the advice of his lawyer. 6 months after Brian's disappearance, his girlfriend, Alexis Wagner, had a strange experience. While calling his phone one night, it rang 3 times before going to voicemail, a departure from the usual direct-to-voicemail response. However, the cell phone provider stated this could have been a technical glitch, and the phone's location could not be determined. Tragically, the search for answers was compounded by further heartbreak for the Shaffer family. In September 2008, Brian's father, Randy, who had tirelessly searched for his son, was tragically killed in a freak accident during a windstorm. In the years since Brian Shaffer's disappearance, several theories have emerged, each with its own set of possibilities and unanswered questions. Let's look at the most prominent ones based on the known facts. Theory 1. Foul play inside the bar. Many believe that Brian was a victim of a crime that occurred inside the Ugly Tuna Saloona. This theory suggests he may have had an altercation with someone, leading to his death, and that his body was then somehow removed from the premises without being detected by security cameras. The service exit leading to a construction area is often cited as a potential route for this scenario, although police have stated it was a difficult path to navigate. Theory 2. Voluntary disappearance. Another possibility is that Brian chose to disappear and start a new life. This theory suggests he may have used the service exit to leave unseen. Those who support this idea point to the recent death of his mother as a potential catalyst for him wanting to escape his life. However, his close relationships, his dedication to medical school, and his planned proposal to his girlfriend all seem to contradict the idea of him leaving everything behind. To date, there has been no activity on his bank accounts or credit cards since he vanished. Theory 3. Accidental death. The theory of an accident has also been considered. Some have speculated that Brian, possibly intoxicated, may have wandered into the construction area and met with a fatal accident. However, extensive searches of the area by police and cadaver dogs yielded no evidence. Another variation of this theory suggests he may have fallen into the nearby Olentany River, though searches of the river also turned up nothing. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Voices of Innocent. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth explorations of true stories that deserve to be told.